Subir Bhaumik, a senior journalist from Assam, joining us on the phone line. So Bhaumik, what really is the latest that you're gathering on the situation in Assam?
Well, it looks quite chaotic at the moment, and different layers of conflict actually. On the eastern border of Assam, has this huge problem building up with Nagaland over what has been a long disputed border. If you recall, in 1985, the police forces of Assam and Nagaland fought each other over this disputed border, having two countries, armies of two countries fighting each other. And ever since then, there has been an area constantly, disturbed because there have been reports that Nama villagers try to encroach on what the land sees as its own territory, and this encroachment has led to a lot of conflict. Now, at the moment, this is definitely one of the major problems because this has led to about 20% deaths, and police had to open fire to protect the parliamentary secretary from being lynched by extremist mobs. That's one conflict. Other is actually building up in the western borders of Assam, in the border-dominated areas where the Bodo militants have been on a bit of an offensive, especially after the Lok Sabha elections. Now, why after the Lok Sabha election? Because this is the first time the Kokrajhar Parliament seat, and Kokrajhar is the heart of the Bodo's Territorial Autonomous Council, is the administrative headquarters. So the Kokrajhar parliamentary seat was lost to Bodo groups. None of the Bodo candidates who contested there could win it, and the person who won this is an ex-Ulfa militant, Mr. Hira Sarania, or rather Nobo Sarania, which is his real name, and he was backed by a host of non-Bodo organizations. Organizations belonging to Bengali Muslims, Bengali Hindus, Assamese, Adivasis. They all grouped together to prevent any Bodo candidate from winning because they saw that this was crucial to preventing a possible resurgence of the demand of a separate Bodo land. After Telangana's creation, there has been a resurgence in the demand for separate Bodo land. But after the defeat of the Bodo candidates in the Kokrajhar Parliament election and the victory of Mr. Sarania, who was backed by the non-Bodo organizations, the Bodo militants have been on the offensive. They have attacked Bengali Muslims, they have attacked others, and now they have started attacking even Bodos who are not falling in line with their way of thinking. And the assassination of this girl, rather brutal assassination of this women,
right,
on charges of that she was spying for security agencies,
right,
there is quite a brutal act. And this actually, focuses on this whole problem that there are multiple layers of conflict building up in Assam. And to add to that is the political dimension, because within the ruling Congress party, there seems to be a serious effort by dissidents to unseat Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi. And there are reports, especially available in the Central Intelligence and the Home Ministry now, that some of these dissidents are fanning the flames in various parts of Assam, in playing into these various conflicts in a way to discredit Tarun Gogoi and his administration. So this is actually, throwing, as we would say in India, throwing heat into fire.
Mr. Bhaumik, what really can the centre do then at this point in time? Because the state government has really put the onus on the centre, saying that in this latest wave of violence, they did not act in time. But politically speaking, how really can the centre play a constructive role?
No, this blame game is absolutely rubbish, and it distracts from the problem. It does distract from efforts to tackle this problem, and it will be downright silly on the part of the state government to be blaming the centre, because the centre, whenever Assam has asked for additional forces, and that's all that could do, because law and order is not a central but a state subject. So the centre has made available the quantum of forces that the state has been looking for, and there were enough CRPF battalions in the state. Insurgent actions by the R5 largely under control. So one cannot blame the centre for not doing its bit. Yes, there is one major problem here I must mention, and for which I would hold the Indian Home Ministry slightly responsible, which is that this problem on the eastern borders of Assam with Nagaland has been building up for the last 15 days, the whole fortnight. about 12 to 13 people have been killed in sporadic violence, and sometimes the violence has tended to get out of control. Except for getting reports from the Central Intelligence Organizations on ground, the Home Ministry has not really pushed the state government or tried to intervene in some ways, not physically, but it was definitely the job of the Indian Home Ministry to tell the center, tell the state government that here is a problem which is getting beyond control, and especially because two state governments are involved. So it was definitely incumbent on the Indian Home Ministry to push for the meeting that is happening today between Assam Chief Minister Arun Gogoi and Nagaland Chief Minister Mr. Zenia. This meeting should have happened at least a week ago when the trouble...
All right, Mr. Bhaumik, thanks very much for that in-depth perspective. We hope to get you on a clearer line next time around. We also have Indrajit Kundu joining us on the phone line for more on the story. Indrajit, we understand you're on your way to Golaghat, which really has become the nerve center of the latest wave of violence. Kiran Rijiju is meeting the chief ministers. What are you hearing from that meeting? What have they deciding to do next?
Well, that's right, Aviral. We are on our way to Golaghat from Guwahati, and we can tell you that even as we travel on the highway, we've already faced multiple blockades. People taking to the streets, coming out on the highway and trying to block any vehicle that is trying to move, forward towards Golaghat from this area. Now, the entire Assam has been, a strike call has been given across Assam by multiple political organizations, various student organizations. Guwahati bears a desolate look. Complete shutdown of shops and commercial establishments, very few vehicles flying on the street as well, with most apprehensive about any violence on the streets of the state capital as well. Given the fact that Akhil Gogoi's organization too has given a call for a protest rally in the afternoon. Now, General V.K. Singh, who is the minister in charge of Northeast, he has been there in Guwahati since yesterday. He met with the Chief Minister of Assam, along with other Chief Ministers from Northeastern states and Nagaland Chief Minister as well. We believe the meeting between the Minister of State for Home, Kiran Rijiju, along with the Assam Chief Minister, as well as the Nagaland Chief Minister, is scheduled for any time this afternoon at around 12. We're expecting that meeting to begin. But the centre definitely sending emissaries in the form of two senior ministers to assess the ground situation in Assam, which seems to have escalated to a very critical situation right now.
All right, Indrajit, thanks very much for getting us all those details. We continue to keep a close track on the developments in Assam. Minister of State for Home, Kiran Rijiju, has met with the chief ministers. We'll be getting you more details on that meeting in a short while from now.